Hello everyone. If you followed me or you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that I put a high priority on setting goals, having dreams, and also finding your why. Your why is something that's deep-seated, it's tied to your emotions, and it's something that's very important to you. And this is something that you focus on during periods of struggle or times when you get discouraged, and something that just helps you really stay focused on what your purpose of life is and what you want at the time. Uh, if you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that whenever I joined Team Beachbody as a customer, I was completely selfish. It was all about me, about how I felt, how I looked, and that was it. And that's totally fine. Most people, that's how they start off. When I became a coach and was presented the opportunity by my coach, 13 days into my fitness and weight loss journey, um, my why for becoming a coach was really nothing profound. She simply uh, proved all of my things that I said as invalid. I told her that I don't think I can do it. I can't inspire anybody. I haven't finished a program. I don't know this. I don't know that. And she really wasn't arguing with me. She just disproved all of my excuses as being completely irrelevant. And although she believed in me, I didn't really believe in myself, but I still just took that leap of faith based on her belief in me. And with any decision I've made in life, it's kind of one of those, what does it hurt? What do I have to lose? At the time, making that decision didn't seem to hurt anything, and I looked at it that if I decided that this was not for me and it didn't work, then again I had nothing to lose. So I thought, what the heck, might as well do this. Well, as the time went on, as me being a coach, my reason for doing this changed. It shifted where something that started off about totally superficial and about physical appearance turned into a quest for health. I started doing more research. I mean, like I said before, I had no experience in health and fitness. That wasn't even my drive either. It's just something that I've learned. I wasn't an expert, and I'm certainly not an expert now, but I've slowly learned a lot, and I've been able to help people and educate people, and I'm constantly learning. I mean, and I've been wrong on a lot of things that I thought were accurate. It's just we never stop growing and we never stop learning. So, anyways, as this has went on, my drive for doing it was because it just made me feel good. On top of this, that I was helping people. There was people in the beginning who were like, I may not drink Shakeology, I may not do P90X, but you're inspiring me. I've started going to the gym more often. You have, given me hope as a mom that I do not have to settle for the body that I have, or you've posted meals that gave me ideas of healthy things I could cook for my family. And there was people reaching out to me saying that, we've contacted our family members that they need to get in touch with you because they, dealt with diabetes, high cholesterol, what have you, different things. And so it was just amazing to have gone from this girl who was just a total wreck and, just a total mess. And a lot of people didn't respect me. And then all of a sudden people were looking up to me. It made me feel good. Again, that was pretty selfish. But then when I started helping people, um, change their whole life, I was like, wow. I looked up to my coach, Becky, and thanked her, repeatedly about changing my life because I'd never, still to this day, I don't really want to know where I would be or where my marriage would be had I not found this opportunity. This goes way above and beyond what the scale says, what size clothes you wear. But anyways, I started realizing I was impacting people's life, and that made me feel good. And then when I made the decision that this is something that is not just a hobby, this is not something that I just do in my spare time, that this is something that I was born to do. There's always something missing in my life, and it was like for the first time I was good at something, and I could walk away and go to sleep at night feeling completely satisfied, which is something I'd never felt about any career path I'd ever chosen in my whole entire life. So I embrace it that this is, I was born to do this. It fulfills me, it satisfies me, and it's something that I can do long term and take care of my family this way. A lot of people don't know it, but my husband had major shoulder surgery. It was kind of a fight with his previous employment. Because he was injured on the job, they cut off some benefits, and so for almost a year, I was supplying about 80 to 90% of the income. So I realized at that point, wow, I'm doing this part time on top of working and being a wife and mom. what could this do? And there's a huge, this is a taboo subject. It's like, how dare you make money off of somebody with such a sensitive topic such as weight loss? But the thing is, like, regardless of what you are, people make money. People in churches, doctors, any type of profession. I'm providing a service. I'm providing help for people, and I'm using up, my time and my energy to help you. So, I mean, obviously, you're going to get compensated. So I hate to talk about that, but it is a big part of this. So I realized at that point, wow, I could do this full time. I could work from home. I could set my own hours. So that became my why. I thought back and I was like, wow, I've been a mom for over 13 years and not been on a field trip. I've not been able to take my kids on vacation. My girls have asked to be on things like the swim team, gymnastics, and it never fit within the working mother's hours. There was school programs that I would have to reshift my lunch for, and then I was going and running, racing to be back after an hour's time. And this had been my life, and I know this is most people's life, but I realized that, like, I actually found something that I'm good at, that people admire me and respect me for, and it can provide me being able to take care of my family financially and be there more for them emotionally and be present in their life. So this became my drive, is to make sure that my girls didn't have to ride the bus anymore. They hated it. They ride this bus home to my home, and there was 60 people on the bus. They were sitting 2 to 3 kids, and it just makes for a long day. I mean, the kids get up early. They sit in school all day long, and school is pretty much like a prison. They get 30 minutes lunch to scarf down their lunch and to, get up and stretch, and then they're back at their desk, and then they're riding the bus home. And I hated the fact that my girls were coming home to an empty home. And then I would come rushing in the door at 5:30 and would be a wreck because there was things I had to do. And I hated that. It broke my heart. So I decided that I was going to be there for my kids. So now, I mean, anybody who's followed me knows that on September 6th, I turned in my 8-week resignation. And as of November 1st, that was my last day, and I retired from a 10-year career into the insurance industry that I hated. So now it comes down to, like, well, what is your why now, Mindy? What do you want? What's going to drive you? Because your goals are not the same. And this is one thing that I share with all the people on my team, or even people who are just customers, that, like, you may have a weight loss goal of 50 pounds. And when you reach that, well, what's your goal? You can't just give up then. You have to have something else there. One of my coaches in the past, I've had her do some videos. Her initial why was that she hadn't worn her wedding ring in years. And so then she was able to put that on. So that was, like, huge accomplishment. But then again, then what drives you after that? What keeps you on this path? What makes you keep embracing this as a lifestyle, not just something that you attained a goal and then you go back to your life before and then start all over again? So I've had to really think in the last week that, what is my why now? And, it's something that, it's hard. I didn't get to go to college. A lot wasn't even necessarily, I guess, finances, but just the way I was raised. My parents didn't really believe in college. They didn't push it. They were, I was raised as Jehovah's Witness, and I remember early on as a child that, they're like, you're never going to, the world's going to end before you're an adult. So, I mean, obviously they thought that Armageddon was going to come and then you would never need college, and then I left home early. My parents weren't not loaded with money. So I never went to college, and it's important. I don't think now that I have a career that's fulfilling and, it's provided for my family, that you don't necessarily need a college education to be successful, but I do understand that it's important. So there's certain things for my kids that I want that, if anybody's followed me, they know that I had Haley shortly after I was 18. She's kind of raised me in some ways, and we've grown up together, and I've just let her down. I've went through 2 divorces, and now I'm in my 3rd marriage, and I haven't set a good example for her, and I know that I've let her down a lot. There's things that she wants. She recently hit me up for the 8th grade trip to New York, and I was like, oh my God, Haley, between Ryan and I, we have 5 kids, and, I don't know if I can afford that. And she was so grown up. She's like, it's okay, Mom, I totally understand. But, it broke my heart to be able to tell her, not to be able to say yes immediately. And I remember growing up when I wanted things as a kid, my parents just said no, and I just learned to just settle for it and stop asking. And then I realized I don't want to do that to my kids. And it's not her fault that there are 4 other kids in this family. And it's one thing that is very important to me for my stepdaughter, is that same thing, is that she wants to go to college. She's encouraging her stepsister Haley to go to college. And I've told my husband the last thing I want to do is look at them after we've let them down over and over and over again and say, you can't go to college when you have that will. So my why now is to make sure that everything that I do, it's for my kids. That, obviously my business is built on helping people, and I genuinely care, and I want them to reach their goals. I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to accomplish everything, and know that just because somebody gave up on you, or you gave up on yourself, that you can't be great. You don't have to be great to start, but you can eventually get there. And so I want to teach my kids that too. And last thing I want to do is have them watch me believe in other people and help them all the time, and help them reach their goals, and then be able to look at them and then, when they're 18, and say, you can't go to college. So that is my goal now, is to be able to keep supporting my family, be able to afford them the things that they want. That doesn't mean that I'm just going to give them everything that I never had and spoil them, because I've seen that happen, and that really doesn't teach the kids anything. I've taught my children how to budget money, to save money, and to work together, and to come up with solutions together. But my why now is to make sure that I take care of my family, and that I provide the future, and at least the ability for my kids to have what I didn't have and what they desperately want. One thing that I got from one of the coach-led meetings from Summit this last year was David and Monica Ward led this meeting all day long on that first day of Summit. And it's one thing that she talked about, is that whenever she became a coach, because she's one of the founding coaches, that she had all these things, that she wants this car, and I think everybody out there has their dream car. But then she realized that she owed it to her children to provide college for them. So her goal was that I'm going to keep driving this car and make the sacrifices so that I can save for college for my kids, and that they are number one. So that's the one thing, is that I took that, realized that I need to make my children number one. And so today I paid for the deposit for Haley to be able to go on the trip to New York. She already knows that she's going to work for it as well, that it's not just going to be me paying for everything, but that I'm going to bear most of the costs. We have several wonderful, wonderful friends who have offered to allow her to come babysit to make extra money, and so for that I'm forever grateful. So that's my new why, and on top of that is to just be able to help as many people change their life. I really focus on not so much health and fitness, but just the fact that most people won't do anything with health and fitness because they don't believe in themselves. They've tried something and they failed. Somebody's made fun of them, somebody's told them that you can't do it, and they actually believe it, and they stop trying. The other day I watched Emily tell me and Haley and one of Haley's little friends, Jessie, that when I get in middle school, I'm going to do track, and she was so excited, and then immediately, and this is just something, this is just, it's nothing against my child or Jessie, this is just life, but Haley and Jessie both like, oh my God, you don't want to do that, and then she said, why? I want to do that, and the thing of like, it's so hard, nobody likes it, and they just start being negative and telling her why she can't do it, and this is what has happened to life, is that somebody complains about how hard something is, and then everybody else starts believing it. They've never tried it, but they start turning everybody down and turning them away from it. And so my thing is I want to share with each and every one person out there who will listen to me, is that just because somebody told you not to do something, or because they heard from somebody it was hard, doesn't mean you can't do it. I'll be there cheering you behind you, and this is what I want to have my message for my children, everybody listening, is that you can do it. Stop listening to what other people say. I was a mess up from day one. I didn't believe in myself, and it just took one person believing in me to make me believe in myself. And finally I said, why the hell can't I do it? And I'm right here, and I'm living proof that you can do it. So anyways, that's my why, and stay tuned, because as the time goes by, I'll have a different why.